A lot of you know Epic Games as the pioneers of the new generation or the modern experience of gaming. But I'm here to tell you guys that they are more harmful than they have been revolutionary to the gaming scene. This isn't just me being bitter. This is provable. This is actually what happens. And I'll provide actual evidence. But before I tear Epic a new one for their business practices, I got to give them props where props is due. 2017, we all know the story. Epic Games releases Fortnite Battle Royale. After their Fortnite Save the World had been in development hell for about 4 years prior, they finally released it, plus slapped together Battle Royale in about 2 weeks to compete with PUBG at the time. Little did they know just how big it would get. But with Fortnite Battle Royale getting so big, came the opportunity to monetize. And this is where Fortnite or Epic Games revolutionized the way games were monetized. See, instead of charging out the gate for the game, they made it free. Now, while this is bad for most companies who don't have a lot to fall on, it was good for Fortnite or Epic Games at the time because they had their paid experience, which was Save the World, that would still bring in some money. So this experimental Battle Royale, they could make it free and not worry about completely going downhill with it. Additionally, the way they monetized it was adding a rotating item shop, which wasn't entirely new, but it created this fear of missing out that would entice players, mostly younger children, to buy the items while they were in the shop because they didn't know when they would come back. And to be honest, it's still like this today. Now, another thing that they did, and probably the thing that revolutionized the way games are monetized nowadays, is the Battle Pass system. Every darn game to come out nowadays has a Battle Pass, even ones that have already established themselves, and even games that it doesn't make sense to have a Battle Pass, like 2K. Why does 2K have a Battle Pass? Anyway, the Battle Pass, you guys know it. It's once every 3-month subscription, basically. You pay to get in the Battle Pass, and you get rewards, and it promises you more rewards than it's worth if you continue to play. And why this was revolutionary was because it was an instant hit, an instant success. Pay the $10 up front, get the skin up front, and then they would monopolize players' playing time to complete the Battle Pass due to that fear of missing out. Oh, this Battle Pass is super exclusive. While your item shop skins might come back in the shop one day, these Battle Pass skins are gone forever. And it's still like that to this day. So, that was the most I could give Epic Games praise for, because unfortunately, while it was revolutionary at the time, it has become toxic nowadays. And every game, regardless if it makes sense or not, is going free to play and relying on overpriced skins to keep their studios afloat, which is bankrupting great games. We'll get into that later, because no game can truly be Fortnite or the next Fortnite or a Fortnite killer. It's not going to work the same. And while these studios should be selling their experiences and getting money out the gate, they are relying on a skin system that players are honestly just sick of. Digital items nowadays are way overpriced, way more expensive than they're worth. The average low-tier skin is $10. $10 can get you a breakfast. You can go get you a pack of eggs and some bacon for $10. That's a breakfast meal. But you want me to spend that daily because item shops update daily. There's no way. Any game that isn't Fortnite can't get away with that, yet they think they can. And that's one of Epic Games' sins. This is one of the things that I cannot give them credit for, is because the way they revolutionized their own game has standardized immoral practices in all of gaming. Now, here's where I'm going to get off the beating road and talk about my personal beliefs. I believe Epic Games is not only monopolizing, but killing most successful games. They got their hands on Fall Guys, Rocket League, and who knows what else they're going to get their hands on later down the road. And what they're doing with these games is forcing the same system that made Fortnite profitable onto every single game they come across. And these games aren't made or weren't built with this monetization scheme in mind. Take Fall Guys, for example. Fall Guys is a party game. You're meant to go on, have a couple rounds, get off. Fall Guys, when it released, was a paid experience, like it should have been. A paid experience. And the gameplay loop of Fall Guys was to go in, try to win a couple crowns, and then use your crowns to buy the new stuff that comes out in the rotating item shop. You could obtain skins, nice cosmetics in Fall Guys upon release before Epic Games earned it for completely free if you were good enough to win. That enforced a gameplay loop to, oh, I didn't win, let me play again before the item shop changes because I want these new cosmetics. So let me play more than a couple rounds, even though I've seen everything already. That was a positive gameplay loop. You paid to get in the experience, and then you were able to experience it for completely free afterwards. If you wanted to buy, there were packs that cost real money, how every game used to work and how they should still work before Epic Games ruined it. Now, Epic Games bought Fall Guys and has changed it to a battle pass system. Oh, look at that. You have to buy premium currency to now buy things that are worth it in the item shop. And I don't want to hear, oh, you can still buy things with kudos because I'm sitting on 20,000 kudos that I don't spend, because the things that you can buy with kudos are like titles. How many titles do you need, really? Or you can buy a color scheme that goes beneath your skin. Useless, basically. Not cosmetics, not full-on suits like you used to get with the free currency. And now that gameplay loop in Fall Guys is broken. I get on, I play a couple matches. If I win, I win. If I don't, I'm still going to get off the game, because there's no sense of, oh, I got to get a couple crowns today to get these skins out the shop. They broke the gameplay loop. So now what's keeping players there? Additionally, Rocket League. Oh my, there's so much to say about Rocket League because this is where their biggest sins are. Rocket League, again, a paid experience. A paid experience. Psyonix intentionally designed the game to be a paid experience. And then you could earn free items just by playing the game. And the best thing about Rocket League to a lot of people, and I know people are going to groan when they hear this because it's a touchy subject, but trading. Trading was a big part of the Rocket League community. So many YouTubers, from John Sandman to Athena, blew up off blind trading. That's a whole facet of your community that you cannot just throw away. But Epic Games did that. As soon as they took over, one of the first things they did was take away trading. And you might be thinking, well, why'd they do that? Surely it was because all the scams. No, Psyonix fixed the scamming problem. If you don't know, things in Rocket League work like this. You have, let's say, a car or a wheel, right? And the car and the wheel could have a color or a certification, or maybe both. And depending on which color and which certification, these items had value that was determined by the players, not by Psyonix. Psyonix just released crates. You buy keys, you open the crates that you can earn for free. And then you get a random item with a random color, random certification. And then you can trade that to other players. So the community had their own way of saying, okay, this is what we like. So this is expensive. This is what we don't like. So it's less expensive, right? If you wanted a specific item, somebody had it. Somebody was willing to trade it to you for a certain price. No fear of missing out. No rotating item shop to depend on. You want an item, you go buy it. How is that bad for Epic? Because Epic Games wants to sell you stuff in an item shop. How is it going to sell you stuff in an item shop if you're just buying everything for way cheaper than what they're selling it for from other players? And ultimately, that's why they killed trading, because it was harmful to their business model, a rotating item shop. Nowadays, they're charging you $20 for a black market. That's the highest upper echelon tier of item, but black markets weren't necessarily the highest upper echelon tier of items between players when Psyonix owned the game, because some black markets are ugly. So the ugly black markets were worth less than some common items. And you could get them at really cheap prices. We're talking about some black markets were worth less than $1 in in-game currency, less than $1. Now, every black market is $20 in the item shop. And let me tell you, a black market is just a gold explosion or like the paint on your car. It's not even a gameplay experience akin to a Fortnite skin. It's not comparable, yet it's priced similarly, if not more aggressively than Fortnite cosmetics. And then they killed trading, which was the way to get things cheaper or even for free. There were YouTubers that got their start from going from nothing to something in Rocket League trading. This is where you could take a free item that the game gave you, trade it to somebody, and make a little bit of profit every trade until you got the thing you wanted for free. They killed that. Corporate greed. Epic Games is a greedy corporation. And while they might seem generous when it comes to Fortnite, oh, they give you free V-Bucks, oh, they give you free skins on the holidays. That is the only game that they are that generous with. Every other game, they have been cutthroat. Which leads me to my last and final gripe with Epic Games. What they did to my beloved Rumbleverse cannot be underestimated just how greasy and sleazy they did this game. First of all, marketing was basically non-existent. Back in 2017, when I saw the first Fortnite trailer, it showed me everything I needed to see. It showed me people gliding down from the bus, showed me shooting, showed me some zany moments, like traps being placed, people jumping over containers, woo-doo-woo-doo-woo. But I got the idea of what the game was supposed to be. Drop in, shoot everybody else, be the last one standing. When it comes to Rumbleverse trailers, it's like some cinematic experience. It's not showing you what the core gameplay loop is. It was poorly marketed, to say the least. I seen the Rumbleverse trailer 7 times before I clicked download. Seen that Fortnite trailer once back in 2017 and said, oh, I'm going to download that. But thank God that I gave Rumbleverse a chance because it was a great game. Extremely well polished. Took 2 things that you would not expect to work well together, that being battle royales and wrestling. Put them together. And wrestling is really an understatement. That's the least you could say to describe it. Really, Rumbleverse was a completely in-depth system. It worked like rock, paper, scissors. You could block, you could strike, and you could grab. Strikes beat grabs, grabs beat blocks, blocks beat strikes. That was the core fighting mechanic. Now you had special moves that were either grabs or strikes. You had weapons that either grabbed or striked. And that elevated the experience. You had a perk system that was in depth. Everything was so well polished and well thought out. Moving around that game felt great. You could dash and jump and climb everything. It was way more polished and way more refined on release than Fortnite feels even to this day. And yet they didn't market it. Season 2 came out, no trailers. When they released the Season 2, Epic Games, it was Epic Games' job as the publisher to make awareness about this brand if they truly wanted it to succeed. But they didn't promote it the way they should have promoted it. That was the first mistake. The second point I want to bring up is their strict forcing of these games to adhere to the same strategy that made Fortnite work. The Battle Pass system and the free-to-play system. Making an experience that refined, free-to-play, and hoping that cosmetic sales from an item shop and a battle pass will be enough is silly, is stupid, and it's not going to work for every game, as I explained earlier in the video. It sure didn't work for Rumbleverse, and one of the main reasons why it shut down is because it didn't make enough money. But see, I would gladly pay $20, $30, $40, $50 for Rumbleverse if it was to come out today. And I know so many people that would too. So why not just, if you're going to have a battle pass, if you're going to have so many microtransactions, release the game for like $20. Market it correctly. Release the game for $20. Therefore, you have a slush fund of some money coming back. Then you could start pumping the item shop or pumping the battle passes. Why the free-to-play model? And why judge the game Rumbleverse for not being able to succeed off that model when you shouldn't be pushing that model in the first place. It's harmful to all games. And the reason they didn't market that game correctly, and the reason they sunset it in the first place on its second season, is because they didn't want the game to succeed. Now hold up, you might be thinking, why would they publish it at all if they didn't want the game to succeed? It's probably because some smart person took a step back and said, well, listen, I played this game. This game is great, a little too great. If we market this correctly, it could be the next big thing. It could take our players. If you look at every other game that Epic Games publishes and continues to support to this day, none of them are Battle Royale experiences because they don't want to take players from their core experience, their Battle Royale. If you're tired of Battle Royale, then go to the party game. Go to Fall Guys. If you're tired of that, go to the competitive nature of Rocket League. Then come back to us. They wouldn't want another Battle Royale in their lineup of games because it directly competes with Fortnite. I'm not saying that Rumbleverse was going to take over or be bigger than Fortnite. What game can be at this point? But even just a little bit of their players leaving Fortnite for an extended period of time and jumping on Rumbleverse would have been detrimental to their sales and their concurrent players, all of those things that are important for investors to look at. So I'm thinking that maybe they killed Rumbleverse on purpose. Maybe when they took a step back, they saw potential and pulled the plug early, because what game doesn't even get a year to make its money back? And I know people that played Rumbleverse will understand what I'm saying because it was great. One of the best games to release in a long time. It just needed that push. Cory Kenshin wasn't enough. Cory Kenshin audience is not filled with gamers. I don't understand why they didn't put this game in the hands of somebody like Ninja. Someone has done wonders for Fortnite or Battle Royales like PUBG in the past. Why put it in a Spooky Scary Sunday creator? Why put it in Borleezy? Why put marketing there instead of with Battle Royale gamers? Because they didn't want this game to succeed. That's why. I'm telling you. In conclusion, Epic Games has forever negatively affected the gaming genre. They're a monopolistic company that buys up any game with longevity staying power, converts them into this microtransaction-filled mess, take away features that are beloved to gamers to increase their own profit margins. And they're ultimately what's wrong with gaming today. I know these are companies at the end of the day, and they have to make their money, but the way they're doing it is getting sleazier and sleazier, and it's only the players that are losing. Thank you for watching.